What's going on, folks? Simulation 4 Edition here, and welcome back along to another review of the Pumps and Hoses DLC. Today we're going to be looking at the 5 best features that the DLC brings, alongside, of course, all the visually stunning models that you see in front of me here. We're going to do this by just glancing around. These are some of the things that I've found and experienced whilst having a bit of a play with it over the last few days. And we're going to bring you those too. And really, I would encourage you, whenever you get the chance to play on this DLC, jump on into these straight away, because these features really do show you just the quality of the build of the DLC as a whole and how well thought out this truly is. Right now we're currently using a dribble bar here with our hose reel set up and our hoses around the map here. But what I want to look into is the first unique feature to the Pumps and Hoses DLC, which is actually really quite stunning. What we're going to do here is just lift up everything again. And we're going to just pull ourselves back down towards the pumping station that we have at the bottom here. And it's mainly, this is all about the hose connections and the winding and the unwinding, really. Something that could have previously have been a bit flawed maybe, or physics may have provided you with a whole load of different issues that would have prevented you from doing this effectively. But Creative Mesh have really been able to prevent that and find a development system that has worked perfectly. So what we're going to do, what we need to do first of all is remove the large cable reel that we have on the front here. So we're going to lift this up and we had several different reels around here, so we're just going to drop this one over here, and there it goes. And now we have to lower this back down because the first reel that we're going to pick up is actually smaller, so we need to make sure we pick that up. But it's just how simple everything connects together. Everything really works. It's seamless, but it's very clear and straightforward as to how you need to do everything. You're never left with any doubt as to whether or not something was actually working or not. And the behaviors of every single feature are flawless, really. As you disconnect that hose there, we can start to reel this one in. It's nice and simple, like I mentioned. It just behaves like you'd expect it to. You can change all the colors of the reel hoses as well. So if you have different length hoses, you can make them different colors, so it's easy to spot when they're laid out across the field there which one you may or may not need. But it's actually just fantastic, really, in my opinion. Really, really stunning. And there we go as we wind in. The animation on the reel, as well as it does either wind in or unwind, is absolutely sublime. Again, usually in years gone by, you might expect to see certain aspects of this have a little bit of a physics wang and end up flipping the tractors around or glitching out to some degree, but nothing of the sort. It's just absolutely effortless in how it works. We're going to get the rest of these all packed up though, and then we're going to move on over to the next field and the next new feature from the DLC. So the next feature that we're going to want to have a look at, the second of the 5 best features of the new DLC, is the placement of the BGA. Now, we're going to come into our construction menu here, and it's just very clear and very well thought out, and I think it's something that we haven't seen really for any kind of placeable structure before in Farming Simulator, but now everything is just exactly where it should be. You place down your first fermenter, and this acts as the root system for the entirety of the BGA, and you'll see now you have lines that interconnect everything, so you know that everything is connected to this one location. If you want to create another one, it will far away, it will create a second root node so that you can then start to actually build up off that one as well. It links in perfectly and seamlessly to everything that you need to do here. You can add and remove bits at your will. It doesn't affect how everything might be placed in there. If we come down to production, for example, and we want to suddenly add just another one of these into here, it allows you to add it in. It allows it to automatically be built in there as well. You add it on there and it's all good to go. You want to remove some things, well, you can do that just as easily as well there. You just take that off and it's sold, but it still doesn't impact the operation of the BGA. But it's very clear with how it works there. Also, furthermore, if your yard structure is set out in a way where some of your liquid tanks are a little bit far away, that's not a problem. As you can see, this one is still working and it's still behaving as you'd expect it to be as well. So very well thought out there. The integration is perfect, and I think this is a very smart, a little bit perhaps underlooked feature as well. We didn't really know this was coming a bit under the radar. The main focus was always going to be on the pumps and hoses and the machines and the umbilical kits, but this is pretty darn good. So the next feature that we're going to look at is the separator here. Now the separator is sublime. We're just going to come on and turn this one on here. Hasn't been on for a little bit. As you can see, what this is doing right now is removing all of the solids from any of the digestate or even the slurry that you have in store here, allowing you just to spread a slurry onto your fields and have a hard substance that you can actually spread. Now, this can be used in one or two ways. Well, first of all, you can either use this as an animal bedding rather than straw, which is pretty unique, pretty cool idea. So you can actually stick that into your cattle sheds, for example, or you can spread it like you would just regular muck in a muck spreader onto your fields there. Come on in with your telehandler here, and we should just be able to. This is just a default bucket, and in it goes. Nice and easy. Picks everything up as you expect it to. Very, very well thought out bit of functionality there as well. Now, what's even better about this is it does come in several different phases and several different designs as well. So not only do you have the largest model there, which is a large shed or muck midden really, and then it goes to a regular spreader there as well, and you are away to the races. Now, the great thing about this is that you do have the three different sizes. You have this large midden with the roof on the top. You have this slightly smaller bay here, which will allow it just to tip into there. You can scoop that out. Looks like you're going to need a slightly smaller bucket to get into there, but you can still do it nonetheless. And then finally, you just have the independent stand here. Now, I guess you could either put that over the wall into an existing muck silo, or you can put a trailer underneath there even, maybe. Work it that way. But they are the three different options. They work very well, very seamless. Again, with the integrations we're coming to expect, but ultimately a really strong addition. Number 4 on the list is something that we've touched upon already slightly there, but it's the physics. How everything operates, how everything is interactive with each other, and how it's seamless. There's no faults, there's no flaws, there's no glitches with it. Everything just works. From trailing out miles of slurry hoses across different countryside, it doesn't glitch into the terrain, for example. It will just function as you would expect. What we can do here is even show you this as a bit of an example. We'll jump on into this Massey. Then we are just going to start to unroll this, and immediately it drops it down. It doesn't drag it along, it just allows you to continue. The hose stays where you drop it. It doesn't have any issues when it goes under a little bit of terrain there, but it just lies in waiting for you, and it's absolutely perfect. Really is. I find that the more you lay, as long as you have the right number of pumping stations in place, or you have the right powered for your pumping station, this will be a seamless interaction here, and it does work very, very well. It's also just a stunning thing to watch there, really. The animations on the unrolling technique is just sublime. It really, really is. Very enjoyable for me. This is a 500-meter hose on here, and it's just unloading it without any issues. I've yet to see it clip through any hedges or gates or trees or have any issues there. It just does everything you need it to do. I think it's something like this that we haven't seen in Farmington before. This is really kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit on what's possible. Doesn't have any performance impact as well. Like sometimes you might expect when you have a lot of a certain aspect around, but no, not at all with this. It's absolutely superb. Elsewhere as well, you move on to a different aspect with the placing that we've just discussed as well. The manner in which all of the augers load into each other and connect without any glitching or any texture flashes or anything like that. It just looks like it was designed and built there. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So again, there's a lot of thought has gone into how that's going to be built, how that's going to react, and what that's going to look like for the end user. And so finally, the last really cool feature is how your BGA sites all function with each other. The linking and the integration is sublime. We've already touched on what it looks like from a placeable standpoint to create your route and your node for your system. But when we come on into the main menu here, seeing how they all seamlessly integrate into the production chains is fantastic. You'll see down here, these are all of our new ones, and it gives you the option to be able to jump on in and really assess and adjust exactly what you want your plants to be doing there without too much trouble or torment as well. It's just very simple to do. Right now, for example, in our fermenter here, we are distributing across all the plants there. You can, of course, change this to storing or selling directly. But right now we are distributing. You'll see there's 627 liters of methane being produced right now, which is being distributed as well. And then it's simple to come back down into the next stage of it, find the power plant there, and identify what we're going to be doing. So we've currently got 330 liters of methane here, which will be turned into power. So I've been told as well that the generation or the finances generated from the power stations here are quite incredible. So we have 153,000 on the clock at the moment. We're just going to skip through the rest of the day there, come back tomorrow and see what that looks like for how much money we've generated to see if it's going to be viable in the long run for your farm. Now, of course, it's a very expensive system to install in the first place, but perhaps the benefits are going to be there for us all to see. We're already at 7,000. Good lord. We'll let it keep skipping through. We'll come back to you at 7 a.m. in the morning. So everything was going really well. We made about 25 grand, minus a few build costs, and then we ran out of silage. But we made about 25 grand in about 2 hours or 3 hours there in game. So not a bad little money maker at all. Definitely worth ramping this up, filling it full of silage and letting it go to see how we get on. But that is it, folks. That is the top 5 features that I've discovered so far from the first weekend of the Pumps and Hoses DLC. On Tuesday the 27th, this DLC will be available for everyone to download. If you have not done so already, you can purchase it using my code in the descriptions down below there, and you'll be able to get this across all platforms as well, which is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what you think of it when you get to use it for yourself. Do let me know what your thoughts are down below as you get to play around with it, and then your questions, comments, or feedback you have, drop them down below as well. We will be back with you with more content throughout the course of this week. I hope you have enjoyed this. So if you haven't yet to do so, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Simulation for the Nation for more, and we'll see you all in the next one. Catch you later.